I can't really impress upon you enough just how cold it is today. But I don't care, because lurking behind me here is a treasure trove the likes of which you just don't see every day. This is the Ford Heritage Centre, and lurking inside is a car I wanted to drive for 25 years.
No, not that. That.
This is the Escort RS Cosworth. This is the car that not only killed the hot hatch, it also made the hot hatch. Cars that are made now that are fast and furious and make lots of noise, they all come back to this, the Escort RS. It's a machine from the 90s. It defined the 90s. It's big, it's bulging, it's got a massive wing. The question I've got is, after 25 years of building this up in my head, is it really that great a car? There's a couple of clues that point out this car is not your average Escort. For a start, the engine is that way, or longitudinal. In a real Escort, the engine is that way because it's front wheel drive. This is all wheel drive. But there's more to it than that, because underneath this car is actually a cut down Sierra RS Cosworth. That means this isn't really an Escort at all, but yet another version of the Sierra. There's actually no such thing as just an Escort RS Cosworth. There's two distinct versions. The first one had a massive bucket-sized turbo on it, because this car was built to conform to the Group A World Rally Championship rules. Back in the 90s, cars were really vicious. But for the road, they weren't great. They were very laggy. Yes, you could tune them up to 1,000 horsepower, but they just weren't drivable. So in the second version, they put a smaller turbo, a different engine management system, and lo and behold, it became a really good road-going hot hatch. But it's not just the engine. This is the entire package. Because it has to conform to those Group A rules, you have to do everything, including the aero package. What aero package isn't more distinctive than this bad boy? This wing was designed by current McLaren designer Frank Stevenson, and it's actually not even as wild as the one he wanted. He wanted a 3-piece wing. In the end, he got a 2-piece wing. Hello. But there's a reason for it. It doesn't just look fantastic, although that's probably debatable for some people. It is fantastic because it produces real downforce. The Escort RS Cosworth was the first production car to generate real downforce. So between this, the side skirts, the blistered arches, and the splitter at the front, you had a real race car on your hands. So you could take it down the tuners and turn it into a rally car anytime you wanted. I'm actually more nervous about driving this than I've ever been about driving a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, because it is such an important part of history. This particular car could probably go out on the market for £50,000, and that's 100 grand for a 25-year-old hot hatch. All right, let's give it a little bit. That's pretty good. Ooh, that was a bit of fun. I enjoyed that. Old cars shouldn't be that fast, but this is the thing about this car. This changed the rules. For a while in the United Kingdom, you couldn't even insure this car. It was like £10,000 or 20 grand a year to insure it. You know, that's an insurance company saying we don't want your business. Because as the gentleman who are looking after us here today said, it's a very popular car to borrow. Focus is, it's much harder. It's a really sharp car. Everything's sharp. The clutch, the steering, the ride, everything. It's got a very different character to the older car. And that's what's interesting, because again, they're both RSs and they've both got the same kind of fundamental thinking behind them. But this is obviously, as an all-rounder, gonna leave the older car in its dust, but the older car's fun. It's got that fixed rear bias, so it's always gonna be a bit taily. It really is. I mean, it's quite something. There's that sharp clutch. It's quite something, and we all know how great this car is, but after 25 years, it should be this good. But the spirit of that Escort really is in this car. It's kind of like, after 25 years of evolution through the other two Focuses, it's kind of like we're back where we started, just with 2.5 decades of computers and software and tyres and brakes and all that stuff, all having come along really, really well. So, you know, it'd be a tough choice to choose between these two cars. My brain's racing. Which one would I have?
25 years separates these cars, but they are held together by two letters, R and S. They're more than just a badge on a car though. They're a philosophy that has delivered cars that achieve cult status before they even go on sale. As the day went on and I spent more time with the Focus and the Escort, my heart went back to the older car. They're both brilliant, and of course the Focus is the better car. It has to be after 25 years, but I'd have them both. If I had to choose one, it's the Escort.